What's up, good people? This is Isaiah. And as we look at the tape, we're talking about Anabel ES here. Extra style. You know what I'm saying? It's been a while, actually, since my initial first thoughts on Annabelle here. And the reason for that is because what I've been attempting to do with her is break damage or hit damage cap in turn 1. I can do it by turn 3. I'm trying to do it by turn 1. All right. And that's proven to be a whole lot more challenging than I thought it was going to be. Then again, it most likely is possible to do if I decided to use an AF and then go out, again, AF ends maybe by turn 2. I can probably make it happen, but I've been trying to do it by turn 1 without using an AF. I got pretty close to damage cap because it's 2 hits and it's like I think it did like 1.5 billion in damage or whatever. But that ain't enough. I'm trying to do damage cap on both hits. And the hits I'm talking about are with her justice skill. All right. That's what I'm trying to do here. And I've tried almost everything I can think of. All right. We tried the characters who provide some kind of linking ability or can buff Annabelle here. Right. So for example, Mazrika, tried using her. The problem with doing that though is her speed. Annabelle's speed greatly increases. So she acts before anybody else does. All right. If I went with Yifa, okay, another style, again, Annabelle's speed would greatly increase because of that. Okay. So these are just things that I've been kind of running into as I keep trying to test different ideas with Annabelle. All right. And mainly I'm testing, again, for damage in this case. Tanking is something completely different, and that's pretty easy to set up. That's pretty easy to understand because you're just throwing a party full of like shadow users. Okay. Throwing a user who can actually increase her stats. Who would be a shadow user? Oh, duh, Mazrika. Well, no, Mazrika wouldn't actually impact HP or MP, so never mind. But throwing users who can actually improve, say, her HP, for example, could help. Maybe her spirit or in endurance, as well, right? Bringing characters who can actually impact those stats, and then you're doing pretty good as far as tanking goes. All right. But from a damage perspective, which is what I've been attempting to do here, get the damage as high as I possibly can. I'm running out of ideas. So I just said, screw it. I'm just shoot the video anyway. Testing different ideas on video because maybe people in the community can actually give me ideas. You know what I mean? On hitting damage cap here. Because it's probably something I'm forgetting. I mean, as a guy who has every character in the game and almost every character at 255, there's probably something I'm forgetting here. For example, when digging deeper into Annabelle's kit here, when in light mode, her damage increases based on the amount of MP she has. All right. Something I found out about a couple days ago. I'm like, wow, I completely forgot about this. Until I'm looking like, okay, there got to be something I can do here. Completely forgot. So, of course, once I remembered it, we gave her things that actually increased her MP. Okay. Mainly from a badge perspective and badge only, right? I probably could also use a Grasta ore, I should say, that would actually increase things. So I don't know the status of. Okay, perfect. We'll upgrade that real quick. There's Grasta here so that it's in that same ballpark. Let me go ahead and do not upgrade it here. And where is it? Oh wait, yeah, okay. I'm in the right screen. Just had to be sure. All right, let's see here. Annabelle, where are you? There we go. MP based on light and shadow points. I have 2 of those right now. So, has been upgraded. So now Annabelle is at over 1,000 MP here, right? So, things like that actually definitely do matter in the grand scheme of things, okay? Now, in shadow mode, that's not the case, right? When in mode Luring Shadow, her HP is increased. I think it's actually doubled. So if she's at 7,000 now, it'll be doubled. All right, to about 15,000 or so. within a shadow team. So, like I said, I'm primarily going for damage in this case. The other thing worth considering is her main skill, or her normal attack skill. I think it's called Momentous Thrust. I've seen it a few times actually at this point with all the testing I've been doing. But that skill can do 15 times, the damage, right? However, right, one, it's a preemptive, hits all enemies, which is, I guess that's fine. You know what I mean? Most people's basic attack would actually do something like that anyway. But it removes all buffs from the enemies. It also consumes the, was it the Gleam? I forget it's probably Miglin's Gleam. I believe it actually removes that. All right. Which, I mean, I guess is fine, but, trying to keep everything. I'm trying to not utilize that particular skill. All right. So mainly, like I said, what I'm doing is building her, trying to figure out different team comps that can actually work with her. Different characters, I should say. Not necessarily team comps, but characters that can work with her. But also having her act last. Which, again, that's kind of the hard part here. So, when you have all her skills, okay, you have all the skills here, including her Stellar Awakened skill, right? This is the last skill I got, Paladin's Path. Now, this is actually somewhat important because, again, in a guiding-like team, damage done by all party members increased by 50%, okay? In a team with all like characters, then obviously if you're in a shadow team, damage is decreased, or damage taken by all party members is decreased by 50%. So it's she gives herself a buff already, you know what I mean? What I then do now is just look for other characters who can actually add to this particular buff. All right, and the characters I've been thinking of, or characters I've been experimenting with, Mayumfa, she can add to it. Okay, Sukiya here, she can also I'm thinking like fire type in this case with Sukiya. Claude ES could do it. Miyu is just here because she's holding Rasta. Who else? Suzette's only here for Sweet Tooth, and of course she's also holding Rasta as well. And she has that pain and poison deal going on. Plus she's a light-based character. All right, as you can see, there's no shadow characters on the team. You know what I mean? But things like that, I can easily swap out Mayumfa for someone like, let me see, where is she? Okay, let me do this instead. Much better.
Where Radhika goes, I go.
I forgot they talked. But I can replace her with someone like a Uella in this case, and I can hope to do the damage necessary, because Uella, oh man, too slow, to be honest. As you can see here, because she adapts to the character to her right, this skill, it says, and water type resistance 50% and crystal type resistance 50%, that actually changes to match what Anabel ES has, right? So it can actually decrease the damage, or decrease the resistance from, say, wherever I'm fighting based on Annabelle here and her personality, all right? So there's that. Okay. And then we have this skill here, Fightus, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. But again, okay, another one of these skills where, okay, preemptive crystal type piercing attack. It's not going to be a crystal, it's going to be a fire. All right, piercing attack on all enemies, ×2, XL. Damage increase when pain and poison. We already have Suzette in the party, so of course they're going to be pain and poisoned. And inflict break. Party's crit goes up. Magic crit goes up, right? So we're using characters who can pretty much add to what's going on here. But again, like I said, the big problem I run into when going for damage is that Annabelle becomes way too damn fast. Okay? In most cases, I can actually make it so that every character is faster than Annabelle, but as soon as I link her with someone like a Mazrika or even Yifa, or maybe even Claude, right? Annabelle's speed eclipses whoever else is supposed to be going next. You know what I mean? So it wasn't really consistent for me. So for example, if I were to go ahead and enter into a fight here, now there's no link happening here at all right now. Though I guess I could actually use morale on her. Okay, I can do stuff like this. So I'm setting a zone with Susat's here. And as you can see, her speed is too great right now, so I don't even know how much damage that was. I guess we'll find out.
Play
I'm not really worried about what we're seeing here. So that damage from Annabelle acting early was what, 200 million? 253 million, right? Which ain't bad, you know what I mean, for one turn. But now if we include what we just gave her, right, with this buff, and then of course with morale, which, let me see here. I guess I'll have to do more looking into this, because I don't think this actually did anything. We'll just keep everything the same here. Annabelle acting first, of course. Right, so pretty high there. Right now, imagine doing that much damage if Annabelle acted last, which is kind of what I'm going for here. You see the numbers just jumped considerably. Okay, we're now at what was that? Let's see, 4 billion in damage. So now we basically go back to the drawing board and see, okay, what can we do here to actually improve this? So let's get rid of Sukiya, and we'll go for someone like, who's a fire unit? That I have still. Sazanto.
Me? Seriously?
Yes, you, seriously. Problem? We're going to take that here, and we're going to take that as well. And right now, I'm really just going for as much speed as possible. Okay. So that these characters act before Annabelle does, right? And the skill will most likely, hold on a second. Okay. Skill will most likely go for here is probably treatment. Okay. So it can actually increase the power and int and speed. But again, we run into this immediate problem with this, because what's going to happen, an increase in speed, 100%, she goes from 316 to over 700 as far as speed is concerned. Assuming they're actually doubling, unless there's a hard cap on how high the speed could be. You know what I mean? I think, actually, did I say 700? 316, that's 632, actually. Right? So, and then we look at everybody else. 310, too slow. So, we would have to give, we'll give her, it's already a preemptive ability, so we need something to increase her speed. So, we'll go with this, which puts her at 330. And again, we'll give her speed badges here. Because the point I'm trying to get at right now is that we want these other characters acting first. Now, there's a different team comp that I could use. Say if I was just running, say, master difficulty and just taking out enemies just because, right? Different team comp I would use for this. I would actually throw in someone like a the Coco, another style, right? So, really the only character that gets swapped out is Anka. Okay, just throw in the Coco, another style. And pretty much none of the skills really change much. And we'd be good to go there. There's other characters. Maybe I would probably swap out Suzette as well for someone like Iffy, for example. All right, which could also be used to increase damage. In fact, we'll throw her in now. Okay. Just like I said, a lot of this here is just me freestyling things. And again, we want these characters to be faster than Annabelle here. All right. Which is interesting. Let me double check as to reasons why. Divine Dust activates her strongest unique skill, or Justice activates her strongest unique skill plus Divine Dust. So Divine Dusk here is not a preemptive ability, but her strongest unique skill is a preemptive ability. Okay, so that's one of those things to take in mind here. Now, if this is just a regular skill, most likely wouldn't be activated at all. She would go last in this case. So we're gonna have to increase the speed of our Iffy here. Why does she have Mana Spring? Interesting. Go for speed here. We'll take that from Claude. Still a bit too slow. Let's do this. So I can see what we're working with here. What's the name of that rod? That increases speed. Oh, there we go. So she's at 315. Still technically slower than Annabelle, if I'm being honest. We'll take this from Sukiya. She's at 335, which is fine. So pretty much everybody's faster than Annabelle right now. And we have 3 light users, which is perfect. So we go back to here to testing on the punching bag here. And we'll use Rose Liliac treatments, right? Just to see what happens. There we go again. Less damage, obviously, because she acted right after Sazanka. So that's not gonna work. Now, I could probably purposely lower her speed by, say, using something else here. Let's see, what's actually increasing the speed? Triad? Nope. Let's see. Drops her speed to 286. Give it a shot. Actually, I think... Now, these are all preemptive abilities, actually. That's not a preemptive ability, so that's a problem. All right, let's see here. Take that from Tiramisu. And treatment is preemptive, so no issues there. But like I said, that would definitely increase speed. And it's double for light-based characters. So Iffy in this case would actually have to be much faster than pretty much everybody else. Which she's not, unfortunately. If anything, I think it'd be Sazanka, Yuella, and then Annabelle, or Sazanka, or maybe Yuella, Sazanka, then Annabelle. Who knows? Iffy's pretty much always going to act last if this is the case, though. See? Which is, again, one reason why I'd rather have a light-based character instead of Iffy, right? So this damage here, this was what, 1 point... It was about 1 billion, give or take. Yeah, 1 billion. All right, but like I said, trying to get the damage cap out here, right? And so, if I placed in, she gets a buff just by being in the party. It's this treatment ability that's actually throwing things off. Because the buff is ×2 for light allies, which is unfortunate, you know what I mean? Let's see, is there anything else I can actually use? This here also is for light allies, benefits greatly from light allies. Bitter medicine. Again, the buff is increased for light allies, unfortunately. Who to use? I guess I could throw Sukiya and S back in. I said Sukiya and S. What am I talking about? Oh, actually, yeah. Maybe I can use regular Sukiya.
Let us begin.
Let me see here. What are we working with? So she's a fire damage user. Let me see what these skills look like. Though now I have an issue because I have 2 light users and 2 shadow users. So one of them are going to have to leave. See what I'm saying? So, let's see here. I'm not trying to do anything within Stellar Burst, trying to do things outside of Stellar Burst. Party's critical rate, 100%, 3 moves. She would need to act first in order for this to work. Still it becomes an issue because she's a shadow user now. Oh boy, the joy of testing. This is again one of these reasons why this took so long. All right. And then again, I'm sure most people will be completely satisfied with doing, you know, billions in damage in turn 1. You know what I mean? But I'm not. I'm saying, going for the damage cap out here. All right. His Suzette was
Summon forth the darkness.
my pick here. Because now if I brought Sazanka back in.
Me? Seriously?
Pain and Poison, we have Suzette carrying Grasta here. Alright, just to see. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Maybe some spacing between these would help. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's see. Now it's all light, right? And treatment stays. We can actually use this here, but the numbers are about to be off. Right? Because again, now we're actually increasing the damage of all weapon types, so we'll see. Wow. Still acted before. That was an extra million in damage, which is cool, I guess. The rest came from Annabelle, so that's only 500 million, you know, which is lower than what we were at last time. And so, yeah, but these are the things that I'm currently battling through here. In other words, there's a crap ton of team comp ideas we can actually use with Anabel ES as far as damage. If you're going for damage, if that's your big thing here, right, you don't have to use her for damage. Okay. But yeah, there's plenty of ideas here. This puts us at what? Let me see here, 1.4. Which again is not 2 billion. It's close enough though. You know what I mean? Like I said, this is what I've been trying to do. Like I said, I can easily keep this going. You know, I could just start just spamming skills here, right? And we just keep using justice here. Damage cap on that hit right there. So that's turn 2, right? I'm trying to get both hits to do damage cap. You know what I mean? And not just one of those hits do damage cap. You see what I'm saying? So it's things like that. We could probably improve that. If I use intensive research, could have just used this skill here. All right. And we will just see, take note of where we're currently at. We can also make it so that nobody else hits the enemy here. And let's see, that's what, 5 billion? Gonna try this one more time. Again, Annabelle acting faster than everybody else, which is kind of the issue right now. Nope. Close enough. I guess 2 hits combined could probably get you to damage cap, but we're trying to do that in 1. You know what I mean? So, but that's the interesting thing here. All right, when it comes to testing and using Annabelle and things of that nature. All right, so yeah, if anybody has any ideas on how to go about getting to damage cap with Annabelle in 1 turn, outside of another force, let me know. Right, because I already know I could take this team into, like, you know, master dungeon runs and be just fine. You know, or master overworld, you know, and be just fine. You know what I mean? In fact, the team come out would usually be slightly different than this one, because at least in the overworld, I don't really care about doing as much damage as possible. So I would actually go with a Iffy, maybe a Sazanka, Uella, and Annabelle, and that team would do just fine in the overworld. You know what I mean? But when it comes to testing here, right, going for as much damage as humanly possible, then yeah, I have to just switch up the team comps. You know what I mean? For example, another thing,
Unkept
if I was
armor
going
is a sign
for,
of an unkept mind. So tighten up.
I don't know, it's probably Annabelle, but if I was going for, and again, I just went with fire here. If I went for, say, piercing, I'd probably go for Stellar Awakened character. Oh, duh, serious.
The hunt begins.
But I'm pretty damn sure he doesn't offer any supports for, I guess he could deploy this zone, which is cool. Piercing resistance for all characters, for all enemies, 50% down, which could be beneficial, actually. Let's see, I'm trying to look for something that benefits the entire party. User scout field may be the only thing that benefits the entire party. He has a weapon break piercing that he can actually do. It's worthy of a test. Let's see. What does reload do? Oh, it's right here. Okay, cool. We'll swap out reload and we'll go for this scout field. And of course, like I mentioned before, it needs to be pretty quick. Man. All right, let's see. Speed. I know people are like waiting for me to come up with a video for Annabelle, right? With this one, right? Like I said, I'm aiming to like literally break damage cap first turn, and it's proven to be a lot harder than I originally thought. So let's see. Man. So, another 500 million in damage. So not quite there. I'm just looking at total damage here. Right, the number's probably much higher than that, but not quite there yet. You know what I mean? So, yeah, like I said, if anybody has any ideas on ways that one can actually hit a damage cap with Annabelle in turn one, you know, no AF, then I'm all ears. You know what I mean? This is just literally how I go about testing. I've literally been testing with every single character I got, coming up with different ideas here, and I'm like, man, I'm getting close. You know, like with the last team I just showed, close, but not there yet. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where I'm at right now with Annabelle. All right, so hopefully this gives you all some ideas. Really, I mean, the big thing with Anabel ES in regards to, say, building around her is if you're going for damage, prioritize characters that would help you like improve her damage, right? All light team obviously puts her in a guiding light mode. Increase her MP as much as you possibly can, right? She's currently at 917 right now because I lowered her speed purposely, but obviously increase her MP because, you know, the higher MP, more damage she does, right? I don't know if it caps out though, and that's the one thing I wish I knew. But increase her MP to help improve the damage, things like that. But yeah, it's pretty easy for you to get pretty high damage numbers with her if you don't care about hitting the damage cap like me. You know what I mean? One thing I didn't showcase was actually using her normal attack skill, right? I just don't want to use it, to be honest with you. But it may be the thing that actually hits the damage cap. Who knows, right? I just personally just don't use it for anything. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this one. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and I will talk to you all in the next one.